appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, cause it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Oh yeah! Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast here for Thursday. Weekend kind of gets going because the Cognizant Classic kicks off today. So I kind of view this as, you know what? You got something to do that's weekend based. Go out and enjoy it. Have a little bit of fun. And I think they could probably use the help as well. So, yeah, kind of trying to figure out exactly where the standing is. And if you're like, what the heck is the Cognizant Classic? I don't know if everybody is caught up on the name change. For 40 plus years, it was the Honda Classic.
Cognitively, I can't compute the Cognizant Classic.
It's tough. I wonder how much that has kind of thrown some people. And it had really good energy right before the pandemic. People were going out saying, I love this. I'm going to the bear trap. This is fantastic. And I don't know. I think it's fallen on harder times. I saw the new director of the Cognizant Classic, and he was selling it. Yeah, we don't have the kind of grandstands. We're not going to have the same kind of attendance, but that's just to make this thing more intimate.
What?
Yeah. They have, if you're a passive golf fan like I am, I recognize the big names. They have 2 or 3 recognizable names in it. And I don't know if that's enough to make a tournament. We'll, I guess, have to see. I am going to be out there hopefully tomorrow, possibly on Saturday. Just got to see what it's like. But our friend Ryan from Lake Worth Beach has some insights here. In fact, he wanted to start with a little thank you to producer Denny's, who came out there in 2017. That was probably about the heyday of the Honda Classic, I would say.
Oh,
About
yeah.
8 years ago is when it was really cranking.
That's when this crew was puking in the Hall of Champions.
Yes, right.
That's primetime puking, baby.
It
That
was.
is a champion puke.
Yeah, he said Denny's came out in his beat-up Dodge Magnum, and we have not forgotten about him bringing our interns Burger King. That was really awesome. A lot of our lower-level secretaries and interns would work local events to help with living expenses, but unfortunately, the extra few $100 just really didn't make a difference. And they were basically sleeping in their cars because they couldn't afford to drive back and forth there in the Ballon Isle parking lot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, interesting perspective, man, what people are going through. So keep in mind, this is before the pandemic and before everything became so unaffordable.
And Denny's brought them food?
Yep,
That
sure
was
did.
so sweet
They have
of
not
him.
forgotten that.
He's a sweetheart.
What
Yep.
a sweet little baby.
They have not forgotten that. They appreciate it a ton because they said even, them, even though it's Burger King, it was completely unaffordable for them at the time with their financial situation. So they love that and will not forget that. Now, Ryan is the lead office assistant at a marketing management firm in Miami. And he said, I've kind of got an inside knowledge about local events. That's how I knew that Sunfest was going under before the media did. Yeah, they were like the overall sponsors of the Lake Worth Street Painting Festival, which I thought had great attendance and looked awesome, but there wasn't anything that I forgot Sunfest was putting that on. There was nothing that said Sunfest to me about it. So I don't know what that's all about, but
Sunfest put on the Lake Worth street painting?
it's so confusing. I don't even know what the hell's going on, Virginia.
Huh.
Yeah, they did.
Was there any music?
I don't remember any. No. There was a little 2-person band inside the Irish bar I went into, but I don't think that was Sunfest.
Was there even a street?
Yeah, he says here, I have access to the pre-ticket sales for every concert, sporting event, and gala between Key West and Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
I know which businesses are bleeding and which ones are thriving. The ticket sales so far for the Cognizant Classic are dismal compared to this time in 2019.
Oh.
Changing sponsors from a popular car company to something nobody can even pronounce was a horrible idea. I'm not sure they had a choice on that, but it's just how it landed. Obviously, the forced shutdowns from the pandemic put a dent in a half-century of momentum for our service and entertainment industry, and inflation isn't helping. There's also the extremely high cost for event insurance, thanks to the Travis Scott and Live Nation debacle that happened.
That's a real thing. Event insurance is up a lot.
He said, look at the events going on in Miami, though. They're crushing it. Ultra Music Festival is set to break another profit record, even though they have the highest ticket prices ever. Art Basel always brings in massive international crowds. The dude in charge of the Cognizant Classic was on CBS 12 News saying how change is a good thing and it'll be a more intimate experience for the fans. Well, that's all marketing code word for we're bleeding financially and we're likely going to continue downsizing until this event is no more.
Wow.
That Ultra Fest, I mean, they sell so much ecstasy there. They're probably really.
It's the X booths.
Yeah, they're just turning so much money
to
over.
put them in the black.
I don't think the official organizers are selling the ecstasy. I believe those are independent contractors.
I think we're looking the other way, Virginia.
Your listeners would be shocked if I told you the list of restaurants that are closing this year after Mother's Day weekend.
Whoa.
It's no coincidence that many of them rely on the crowds from events like Sunfest and the Honda Classic to stay alive during these summer months. E.R. Bradley's and the restaurants along Clematis Strip are bleeding hard. The crazy part is the revenue is great, but it's the insurance on their property that is eating up all the overhead. It all comes down to the great insurance scam that's really destroying so many lives. So if you're a huge fan of golf and love going to this event, enjoy it like you're going for the last time.
Wow. What a great email of insight.
So we'll see. So I'm going to go out and support and hopefully keep this thing a-trucking, but who knows what's going on.
Cognizant Technology Solutions Corporation is an Indian-American multinational IT consulting and outsourcing company. All right, I still don't know what that means.
Right.
Yeah, no, you're bringing down the podcast.
I'm just trying to figure things out, bruh.
I'm just kidding.
You're a dick.
I'm just kidding. It rolls off the tongue.
I still don't know what it is, and I just read you what it is.
And Christy said, hey, I want to let you all know that it's not just Disney that's going to be doing the surge pricing. Discovery Cove has been doing the surge ticket pricing. My friend is coming to visit at the end of March, and we decided to go to Discovery Cove with the kids. Looked at the prices at the very beginning of February. The price for a day pass before taxes was $166. Had to wait till the next day to get the tickets because the needed to talk to her spouse first. Well, we went back online to purchase the tickets, and the prices are now over $300 per ticket before taxes.
What?
And that was the Florida resident discount.
Oh, hell no. We ain't going, kids.
How could they raise their prices that much in less than 24 hours? Christy said it's bullshit and a ripoff. Everything is just too expensive now, from housing to a carton of eggs. It's sad what is becoming of this world.
Don't get me started on vintage G.I. Joes. They've gone up 30%, Virginia.
Whoa.
Since the pandemic.
Since you already are started, can I stop you?
I'm kidding. But for real, though, even ever since the pandemic, even things on that level, collectibles, all that shit's gone up. Everything has gone up from every level, it seems like.
Yeah.
Only thing that stayed the same is Totino's Pizza.
Because it's shit.
I don't know, man. I've had a couple that have hit hard lately.
Yeah?
Cancer pie.
It's probably already got me.
You're right. At this point,
I just had my ultrasound done of all my organs. So
Okay.
everything looks good.
Are you pregnant?
No, no, I'm not pregnant.
and got a comment here from Jacqueline. She said, I am a down-the-middle moderate, but I am very excited to see what RFK does to expose the bullshit surrounding our food laws. Say what you want about RFK, but the man clearly walks the walk. He's 71. He looks damn good. You ever seen him like doing push-ups and all that?
He looks good. He don't sound good.
No, he doesn't. He's got that.
You got some balls.
Right, yeah.
The ball's on you.
Oh, whatever. I'm over
only.
here. I sound like a sweet glass of wine compared to him.
Raspy Rana over here.
He sounds like somebody took out his trachea and then taped it back in with Scotch tape. It sounds bad. It's holding on barely.
So, but the dude is in good shape. I think he follows kind of like a keto carnivore diet, has done so for years. He basically only eats things from the perimeter of the grocery store, nothing from the middle. But up until now, this way of eating has never really truly been promoted because, think about all the money associated with the middle aisles of the grocery store.
You're
Big
right.
food drives the problem.
Big food processing.
Yeah, big pharma cashes in, and around we go. It's like they feed into each other. And she says the food pyramid from the 80s is such bullshit. It should be flipped upside down.
Amen.
But it's never going to happen because of the almighty dollar. I'm glad that people like your RFKs and Joe Rogans and others had the balls to come out and start calling out big food and big pharma. Half our country is on diabetes meds, and many can easily be reversing this trend simply by shopping the perimeter of big pharma and fixing their diet.
So I'm not trying to be a dick, or I'm not trying to be cute over here. Are you trying to tell me nothing in the frozen food section is good? I mean, it's all poison. It's all shit and crap.
Maybe not the frozen vegetables, but everything else, yes.
I mean, I get it. It's not the best stuff for you, but I mean, if you eat it once in a while, you're gonna grow horns.
There's a few brands like Amy's, I think, and a few organic brands that try to do it right.
Yeah, I eat Amy's soups all the time. Am I fucked? Is Kevin gonna come out with Amy's gives you soup scurvy?
I think what it is I'm at the age now where I can make less mistakes. I need to get a little bit more on point. I think when you're
Tighten it up.
Yeah, it's just you're getting that stage in life where you can't make as many mistakes as you used to. In your 20s, yeah, you can do whatever you want.
I hear you.
Yeah, but I'm to the point now where it's very careful about what I eat. And today, just even talking about some of those items, I thought I was really tight, but I am cutting back on things like my charcuterie boards, my chicken wings. I'm going to be downshifting. Not that I'm never going to have them, but I'm going to have them a lot less. My tortilla chips. So things like that I'm even having to phase out.
Tortilla chips.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right?
It is weird how, you feel food differently. And maybe you don't, Jay Bird.
No,
I feel it differently. I never really was affected by carbs like I am now. If I eat carbs now, I'm like, bro.
I talk a big game on the microphone. Honestly, the one thing I've really slowed down with, and I'll eat it every now and then, and I can feel it, is those processed sweets, those kind of things. I don't jive with those anymore. And it'll taste good, and I can instantly, it feels terrible in my body.
Yeah.
Like Little Debbie's.
Yeah, they don't.
I don't get down with them anymore.
They're not my favorite. In fact, that aisle, I find myself not loving it like I used to. Even certain sodas don't hit and taste the same. Coke and Mountain Dew are still on my back. I love them. But Sprite tastes weird to me now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they've changed or if I've changed.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is the zero sugar stuff. I've realized I need to start downshifting on as well, because that's just one of those things. And I've always liked it. I'm like you. I grew up on soda. It was always a big treat, and I still enjoy it. I think it's very nice. But that aspartame, baby, in fact, they've got another medical journal, Cell Metabolism, just talking again about how the aspartame in Diet Coke can lead to an increased risk of heart attack and stroke. So
it doesn't hurt either, the fact that they make all of those kind of foods so easy just to prepare real quick, open up and eat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the problem too. I know a lot of times I'll eat shit out of convenience. And, if you want to make your own soups, yeah, it's great for you. But guess what? You're making soup for 4 hours in your kitchen.
it is tough. It is. It really, it's legitimately a challenge. Having good, healthy, affordable food in America, that is a problem that they need to cure. And hopefully people start taking it seriously and realizing. But again, that's what's so scandalous about this, is how the big food and big pharma are going to fight to keep America sick. And that's what's really so freaking twisted and evil about this whole thing.
It's so twisted.
We should be trying to make vegetables and lean meats and nuts and those kind of things that do the body good and would remedy all this. We should be trying to make that affordable and on everybody's, so every American has enough of that food. But that's not it. We're going to try to feed them crap and then keep them
Keep them jonesing for the crap.
Yeah.
Addicted to the crap. Craving the crap.
And well, the crap's also affordable too. I mean, a lot of this healthy stuff, that shit is so expensive.
You're
almost
right.
It's almost like it should be outlawed, and some of these CEOs and whatnot should be arrested. It just
I
feels like
agree.
it's a crime. It's like you are trying to undermine the health and wellness of America. Shouldn't something like that be deemed illegal?
In Europe, it is.
I mean, think about
They
it.
don't put up with this shit.
Think about, you got 3 or 4 kids and you want to eat healthy, but Uncrustables are a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's easy to
Yeah.
feed the kids. It's
I-
easy to put a frozen
I don't
pizza
A
blame
in
you,
bag
there.
man.
of processed, cheap chicken nuggets is way cheaper than going and buying fresh chicken breast meat.
Messed up.
And then you got to get the eggs, and you got to batter it yourself, and then you got to air fry it. Like, that's expensive.
And sometimes there's a shaming that comes along with that, but some people can't help it.
No, you're right.
I mean, we ate a lot of shitty food because we had a lot of mouths to feed in our house.
Yeah.
And it was easier just to buy all that shit in bulk.
It's true. It's terrible.
It's getting people sick, though, and it's making people have to be on medicines for their whole entire life. How many medicines my mom is on right now is ridiculous. 8 different pills, this one to fix that, and that one to fix this, and then that one for the side effects of this one. Like, it's insane.
Really is. I'm hoping that all this noise, and I continue to talk about it, get it out there, keep the pressure on, and I hope that enough Americans demand change and that we see the change. So, yeah, I all political associations aside, I'm rooting for RFK, and I hope that he can change it because it's something I'm passionate about as well. So I wish him luck. We'll see what happens. Anna, reminding everybody about the Yuka app where you can scan the UPC code and it'll tell you if it's good or bad. I've heard debates about that app and other apps, making sure you're finding one that's legitimate. And it may be good, but they are out there. So, like I said, I pay a lot of attention to this. I'm always finding stuff I have in my diet that I thought was okay for me. It's not. So, Christina in Port Salerno said, I'm looking for your expert opinion on refrigerated condiment placement. I feel like we all know that ketchup, mustard, hot sauce, and are key ingredients and deserve priority placement in the fridge, closely followed by barbecue sauce and ranch. For me, the best spot is the bottom left on the door of a French door fridge. For some reason, the people I live with keep putting weak-ass ingredients like relish and the Vic, the very important condiment slots. I'm talking to you, Aaron. I'd like to know your condiment configuration if you have a priority spot in the fridge for the VIPs.
I do have a VIP sauce section, but I'm going to differ from her. I am a relish fan, but relish is a thicker kind of a thing unless you're doing the squeeze bottle. But relish deserves a place, there's a place in the world for relish. But yes, I definitely have a VIP sauce section.
I think the problem that you're looking at is other people are going to prioritize their condiments differently. They would have, for instance, somebody that would prioritize ketchup as the absolute number one. Virginia, where would you put ketchup?
Ketchup to me is very low. I don't eat it. My kid eats it. I don't love it. I barely buy it. I really do. You know what I do? I steal ketchup packets from Chick-fil-A or wherever I've fed my kid, and that's the ketchup that I have in my fridge.
I feel like you can leave ketchup out as long as you want. I mean, restaurants do it all the time. Ketchup's always out. There are times ketchup's out there for 16 hours. You can leave ketchup out.
Yeah, I don't know that it is. It's one of those debatable things. It's interesting what some people do refrigerate, and I've seen some of those lists that some things that you don't refrigerate you should, and other things that you do you don't need to. It's always kind of a confusing list. But yeah, it'll come out every now and then, and there's usually something surprising. People, for instance, putting peanut butter in their fridge.
My VIP
Bread.
section's always going to be ketchup, mustard, honey mustards, always my creamy Italians. I'm going to have my barbecue sauces in there as well, along with any kind of sweet and sour type. That would be the VIP section of the fridge.
Yep.
And then I've got my backups, and that's
Okay.
in another section.
backups, huh?
Yeah, I am.
So you got like a first team and a second team?
I suffer from SI, sauce
You know,
insecurity.
this man has so many sauces.
I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but right now I'm very sauce rich.
Got some other emails here. An interesting thought from Becky. We were talking a bit about Jaybird's friend that got fired for using artificial intelligence and debating with this new Amazon helper that they're coming out with. It's going to be your own virtual AI personal assistant to order your groceries and book your concert tickets, get your Ubers, all that kind of stuff. And what is this doing to our brain power as humans? And Becky said that I think one of the main reasons why young people today struggle so much with anxiety and mental health is because of the technology that we keep increasing. They have the ability to check out at all times instead of actually facing hard feelings that we had to when we were growing up. Remember when you call somebody's house and you had to introduce yourself to their parents over the phone and it was so awkward?
Yes.
But that was the only way around it. You know, you had to face it.
Didn't you hate that calling? When you were trying to date somebody and you would call and the whole time you're thinking, oh, please don't let the dad answer. Please don't let the dad answer.
Right.
Fuck the dad answer. Hey, sir, how are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, yes, I swear I'm not trying to look at your daughter's tits. I swear.
But then you'd screw it up, be going, I swear I'm trying to look at your daughter's tits. And you'd be like, what? She said completing trivial tasks is such an important skill to build confidence, patience, and productivity. Technology is great for certain things. However, it's made us impatient and complicit with less drive. Life is more exciting when you actually live it. Achievement feels better when you work to get it. Things mean less, and we become more detached from one another when instead of feeling actual feelings of nervousness or anxiety and working through it, we can easily just ignore it and look at a screen.
Preach.
It's a society issue that can really only be resolved in the home by allowing kids to be bored. When they do, they become creative. By allowing kids to work through their uncomfortable feelings and not just giving them a distraction, they learn empathy, courage, and problem solving.
I mean, I 1,000% agree with that email.
And, you know, as you talk about the food and the bad stuff that we eat and the vicious cycle of that, of big food and big pharma, I think you do have something when it comes to medicating kids. I had somebody that, or I'd seen a post that was Tom Cruise when he was on the Today Show with Matt Lauer, calling him all glib. And yes, Tom Cruise is very defensive, but they said, look, Tom may be kind of nutty, but at least his take that he had at the time on medicating kids probably wasn't too far off. And so they were defending that and saying, you know, that was 20 years ago that he went on that tirade, and a lot of people were very not real happy with him.
Yeah, look,
when he had done it, and they said, you know, it may be based on Scientology, and he may have made that rant for the wrong reasons, but we may be over medicating our kids as well.
I don't want people to get it twisted because I do think there's people out there that need medication, but I am living proof of my own situation where doctors prescribed me medication I did not need. They over-medicated me.
Over is the key word here.
Over-medicated me, didn't really even do the research into it. It was basically throwing a dart and seeing what landed without really understanding they threw a Band-Aid at a problem and didn't really get to the root. And I was shocked how quick and easy doctors would give out certain drugs to me.
I've heard that it's been incentivized a lot of times for doctors to push certain medications.
Yeah.
And
that's real.
That's insane that is actually a thing.
Now, I think there's also situations where people need medication.
You're right. And that's why I said the key word is over. So I'm not demonizing all of them.
Exactly.
But we've done it too much.
But in my situation, it was wrong for what they did. And I kind of opened my eyes saying, this is a business with some people, and they're not always looking out for your best interest.
That's true.
Yeah.
It is a business.
Yeah, that's what's so twisted about it. This should
It's
be
twisted because they've taken a Hippocratic oath. And so it's like, okay, where is the blurred line between this Hippocratic oath and money?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's pressures that they get that we don't understand, that they have to push certain things. If not, they get, I don't know. But I'm just saying it would be cool if some doctors had a little bit more of a bedside manner when it comes to that stuff and realize that, you could be doing more harm sometimes by prescribing the wrong shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Got an email from Tiffany about your hip, Bert. She said, I'm so glad to hear that your dad, his massage techniques are helping. Many times, a lot of the pain actually comes from the soft tissues, and a combo of stretch and massage will make a world of difference. Now, it's not going to heal your bone-on-bone situation, of course, but it will help the sore muscles and everything surrounding it feel a lot better. I have a herniated disc in my neck with chronic shoulder and neck pain, and my massage therapist uses techniques that help manage my pain so much. Even if he gets the hip replacement done, he really should keep working on the soft tissue issues until those aren't flaring up anymore.
Yeah.
Tissue issue.
Right now, I'm finding a good pain management solution, and it's helping me not have a flare up. It's just when it goes out and it hurts, it fucking really takes you out. But right now, I feel like I'm in a good groove, and my dad's helped me greatly.
That's good. It's nice to see.
Your dad's got good hands, huh?
He does. He does, especially when he tosses me off, Virginia. Is that what you want to hear? I mean, that's where you're trying to go down this road anyway.
So yesterday we had our dads banging, and now we're just doing our dads.
Well, I know that's what she's trying to allude to.
No, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
Whatever.
Is your dad open to rubbing others, or is he just rubbing his son?
It's not like he's giving me happy endings.
I know that. I mean, like, for his healing abilities.
Yeah.
He's not like Soon Bang that we heard about in the Whacked Out News today with her
Soon Bang.
with her brothel that was supposed to be a massage parlor.
It's almost a perfect name.
No, he does. My dad doesn't work on my hip and leg and then ask me, so you want me to finish you off? He doesn't ever ask me that. That's not his job.
Got an email here about what ruins a relationship, and we were breaking down interesting little survey that they had done with where people would place an activity on how it might break up a serious relationship, everything from dancing to looking at pornography. And that's where D stepping in here said, I was listening to your episode where you're talking about the things that can ruin a relationship, and when Virginia mentioned porn is one of those things, I found myself completely agreeing. I'm currently in a relationship where I've discovered that my significant other watches porn more often than they engage in intimacy with me. Says this has been an ongoing issue for months, maybe even a year. I've addressed it with them and expressed how it makes me feel, but nothing has really changed. It's left me questioning whether this is something I should try to work through with them or if it's a big enough reason to walk away. This is a make-up or breakup email, actually.
Wow.
For a while, I debated writing because I felt like this might be too much information, but since you guys brought it up on the show, I figured it was a perfect opportunity to get your perspective. Love to hear your thoughts. Pornography ruins a lot of relationships.
It does.
And it is an interesting thing because as they engage more with the pornography, weirdly, intimacy sometimes drops. I've read some stories on this and how pornography has ruined relationships, and that's what a lot of people are saying, which you would think it would stimulate your intimacy and it would drive you to have more sex with your partner, but it doesn't always happen.
Think about it. If you are tossing off 4 times a day and watching porn all day, by the time you get to your partner to be intimate, you're going to have noodle dick.
You got to raise a nutsack.
Yeah, you have to. You can't always be stimulated like that. Your sex life will increase if you decrease in the porn. Now, I'm not some fuddy-duddy saying you should never watch porn, but I just know people who've become addicted to porn and they watch it 4 or 5 times a day. They're tossing off, and by the time they get to business, they're all tapped out. Of course that's going to hurt your relationship.
Who's got a job where they can toss off 4 times a day?
Virginia, it'll become an issue where they'll go sneak off. They'll find it's like, because it's giving you a dopamine high. You're getting a rush out of that. But it does do damage, and it also can lead to erectile dysfunction if you do it for a long time. I mean, there is some legit serious issues that can come with a porn
pun
addiction.
intended.
Yeah, for real. And it absolutely can change your relationship. I have seen it destroy relationships.
Yeah.
Especially
It's
if
very
one's
true.
not jiving with it. If Pando is jerking off all day watching porn and you're not doing any of that, you guys are on such different pages when it comes to intimacy. I don't see how that could even work.
I've just learned in my ripe old age that you need to communicate, you need to be bold, and you need to lay down boundaries in your relationship. And that's one of those things that you just say, hey, I've noticed this is going on, and here's what I think is happening, and have a conversation about it and say, I need more intimacy. And if you're going to choose to save all your baby batter for your porn trips, then this isn't working in our relationship, and you're already there. Just have a blunt, uncomfortable conversation, lay it all out, let them know what your expectations are with it. And if they can't live up to it, then it's time to move on.
Yeah, the person that I'm talking about, they actually are open about talking about it because their relationship got ruined about it. It's almost kind of like a warning to others, don't get lost in the sauce, literally.
Yeah, that's true.
It can be an addiction just like anything else.
Like anything else.
Like gambling, like alcohol, like
Well,
drugs.
Like, for example, Kevin's not the kind of guy to get addicted to porn, but I know people that could, that where it could dominate their thoughts and dominate what they're doing in their life. And that's what happened to the person I know.
Well, there are a lot of things that I know have that ability to bring you in, and that's why I choose to stay away from them because, one little taste. And I think what you do is you allow yourself to get a little taste, and then the appetite grows sometimes for things.
And not everyone's going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone's going to watch porn and become addicted to it. It's the person that struggles with addictions and that just, they need more. They need more.
Yep, that's how it goes. So I'm sure you're not the only person that is having a relationship challenge because of pornography.
But I think if you talk to your mate and said, look, you're watching too much porn and it's affecting a relationship, and if you can't change that, I'm out. I don't think you are at all wrong for saying that because it's affecting your relationship.
Yep. One thing we talked about in the Whacked Out News today was Pam Bondi, who is the U.S. Attorney General. She was for the state of Florida before she got that job, was talking about how today she's going to be dropping some Jeffrey Epstein documents. A lot of these conspiracy type theory things, I've kind of realized I don't know that there is anything that's necessarily a document and a big reveal is going to do it. I feel that way about the JFK assassination situation as well. But I think this does need to be addressed because some names will come out, and one thing she alluded to was we have maybe a list of 200 victims right now, but it might be more like 250. This thing could go sideways in the wrong way because what we all want, we want a connection of big name people that were on that sleazy island doing things they shouldn't be doing. And that's ultimately what we want to be satisfied with. And Richard said, in my opinion, not every name on the list that was on the plane even necessarily makes you a pedophile. And I think that is right. It does make you suspicious and a suspect and somebody to look at.
Well, a lot of people and a lot of females rode on the plane, even supermodels and stuff, because they thought they were getting a free, fun, amazing island vacation. And I think they did get that.
And what might have happened, he might have been testing the water with a lot of these famous people to see where they were. And that often happens. Well, they'll throw out something and see if they take the bite and if they go down the path with them. And if somebody, if you threw out the bait to me, you're not going to go anywhere. It's not going to happen. But I might be on the island and be like, gosh, I would never partake in that. I had no idea that was going on. But somebody else would be going, yeah, you know what else I like? And then yeah, what else do you like? And then they get a conversation. I've been in situations like that where I've heard that go, I'm like, I need to walk out of this. And that might have been it. He might have been getting you to the island to see how much you would do.
Also, too, I think he exposed different people to different things. If you've got, say, Naomi Campbell on the jet, she's not going to maybe see the dirty side of the island. Maybe she's just there because you want to use her and her name and how powerful she is and Naomi Campbell. You can get other people interested in being a part of your whatever business deals or whatever shady shit. When you have other powerful people are interested.
Or what if Naomi Campbell said, I want to see the dirty side as well? You don't know.
You
Guys,
don't know.
girls, they're all, I mean, you don't want to be on that list. Even if you went there just for a fashion thing, you do not want to be on that list.
Yeah.
Just because of the public opinion.
I agree, but I think that there's still a possibility that some people that went had no idea what he was up to.
I agree with that too, but I mean, people aren't going to give a shit.
You're right.
It's going to be fodder. It's going to be.
I predict and expect it will be underwhelming.
Yes.
I don't think that we're going to be like, oh my gosh, like the
Tom Hanks!
Well, yeah. And we're going to have the conclusive proof and photos of him banging 12-year-old girls. I don't think that's coming. But I think the one name that everybody is looking at and for is Bill Clinton. And
What?
if there is a connection made, he might be having the worst week of his life. Did you hear Monica Lewinsky on the Call Her Daddy podcast?
Oh, yeah.
I heard about it. I didn't listen to it.
She said that Bill Clinton should have resigned after their affair. She suggested he could have either been honest or stepped down, avoiding the scandal and sparing her from being thrown under the bus. And, she talked about all the crap that she had to go through. And yeah, he went through a lot of heat as well, but I think it really affected her life. And I don't think she was ready for everything going on. Keep in mind, she was a younger girl. She was just an intern.
I can't imagine the weight of what she went through.
Yeah, and then she was, a lot of people put solely a majority of the blame on her, wrecking everything else. And I think she'd tell you she made bad decisions and she's not proud of what happened, but I think she felt like she got more than her fair share.
Oh, definitely. She got more and he got less. Because, I mean, he wasn't punished. He was allowed to just go about life.
Yep.
Still doing speaking engagements, writing books.
But even that said, I don't think there's going to be anything that will necessarily come out and implicate Bill Clinton today. I would be stunned if it did. But my quick little prediction, if it does, then immediately they will accuse Pam Bondi of covering up Trump. That will be the spin.
Wait a minute. People are going to be fighting? I can't believe it. Let me check social media and read all
I
of
think
it.
even if we felt like we knew the truth, we're not going to know the truth.
That's why I said I've dismissed my hopes of these things, these bombshells and people seeing justice and all that. I don't think you're going to get any of that with any of these scandals.
We'll never know the truth about everything ever. When it comes to the history of there's so many things we're going to go to the urn or grave you'll never get the answers to. Shit that's probably not even registered in your thought that if you found out, you'd go, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know that there's secrets out there that people don't know about that would fucking blow your mind.
Right. I think there's just so many stuff, and even the alien thing. I just think it's things we love chewing on and we love spitting it around, but we just are probably never going to be satisfied.
And honestly, I'm really convinced that we cannot handle aliens as a species. We couldn't handle toilet paper during COVID, and we didn't even need toilet paper during COVID.
Honestly, they might be right. They've said that. I'm like, oh, no, you need to trust people. The more I see people, I think they're right.
Trust people?
Yes, I don't think.
You're shitting
I don't think we can handle it. And if I were a part of making some of these decisions, I think I'd be going, you going to trust these animals with this information? No.
As soon as the first spaceship would land, it would turn political.
Yes, exactly. That's why I said this whole Epstein thing could turn into a political shit show by this time tomorrow. Probably will. So that's what I'm expecting is more fighting. So it's something that could be wow, but it's probably just going to be like, oh gosh, again?
I know.
Yeah.
Gosh, more of this?
I thought I wanted to know all the
Yes.
names, but now I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know, because I certainly don't want to know the victims.
Yeah.
Don't put those in.
We'll see how it goes. So we'll definitely have a lot more stuff to talk about tomorrow to get you into the weekend. We'll see y'all here then. Goodbye.